What's up guys, welcome to Dystopia. My name is Andres and today you and I are going to analyze two of our favorite Sith Lords, Darth Sidious and Darth Vader, to try and figure out which features are shared by psychopaths and sociopaths, as well as how to ultimately tell them apart. Let's start with the similarities. Part of the reason why psychopath and sociopath are used interchangeably is the fact they both share characteristics of antisocial personality disorder. People who suffer from this condition tend to disregard and violate the rights of others around them. More specifically, psychopaths and sociopaths will share the following symptoms. Number 1. They're egocentric. Darth Vader's role in decimating the Jedi Order during the onset of the Great Jedi Purge may be a controversial example to use, but hear me out. Although the case can be made that he did it to protect his wife and unborn child, or prior experience with his mother's death led him to despair, the fact is he butchered countless Jedi to accomplish his own goals. He cut off Mace Windu's hand for starters, leading to his death, and he led Operation Nightfall, where he turned the Jedi Temple into his personal abattoir. Vader did all of this with complete disregard of everyone else's feelings and desires, including Padme's, who was horrified by her husband's sin. Number 2. They are manipulative. He started life as a nobleman in an obscure remote planet and managed to gain a seat in the Galactic Senate of the Republic. He grew to become the Supreme Chancellor and the puppet master behind the Clone Wars. Ultimately christened as Emperor of the Galactic Empire after orchestrating the eradication of the Jedi. Palpatine's rise to power was carefully planned and perfectly executed. A crucial aspect to this plan involved the manipulation of powerful and influential people, the most notorious cases being the following. Count Dooku. One of the most revered and acclaimed Jedi Masters, Dooku left the Order when they allowed his former Padawan, Qui-Gon Jinn, to die, simply because they didn't want to cause any panic within a government he considered rotten and corrupt. Using these feelings to his advantage, Sidious lured him into the dark side of the Force, using him to found and lead the Separatist movement, as well as to create and design the Clone Army. As Anakin's powers grew and the war neared its end, however, Dooku had outlived his usefulness, and Sidious got rid of him by manipulating yet another Jedi into killing him. Anakin Skywalker. Anakin's manipulation by Palpatine started since the moment they met, as the Dark Lord became a father figure for the young Padawan. The key moments in his manipulation, however, were exploiting Anakin's feelings and concerns for Padme's life, encouraging Anakin to give in to his anger, feeding his egocentric nature and lust for power, and, finally, pitting him against the Jedi. Number 3. They are hostile.
Let's go! We gotta go now! Hurry! Let's go!
Number 4. Both psychopaths and sociopaths receive a childhood diagnosis because most symptoms will appear before the age of 15. As told in the novel Darth Plagueis by James Luceno, Palpatine was born to a wealthy and noble family from the planet of Naboo. From a very young age, he believed himself to be different, superior to the other children. Ambitious and power-hungry, violent and spoiled, he frightened his father so much that the patriarch of the family had them both tested to see if they were truly related. Unfortunately for him, and for the rest of his family, they were. Palpatine hated them all. His father, who lacked the vision and the will to expand his family's power, and his mother and his siblings, who he considered mere puppets that shared his father's mediocre views. To make things worse, the feelings were mutual, with Palpatine's family growing to despise him. The hatred reached its boiling point when, during a fight, Palpatine's father revealed he had wanted to kill him from the beginning. Young Sidious snapped, lashing out with the dark side of the Force and slaughtering every member of his family with no hint of remorse. Given these similarities in behavior, it's no wonder psychopath and sociopath have formerly been used ambiguously, both in neuroscience and criminology. Nowadays, however, exhaustive brain research has granted psychopathy a more specific definition, establishing a much clearer gap between her and her sociopathic stepsister. Bearing this in mind, here are the key features that separate a psychopath from a sociopath. Number 1. Nature versus nurture. Psychopathy stems from biological factors, as psychopaths have abnormalities in their brain, which prevent them from feeling empathy towards someone who's in pain. Perhaps more worryingly, their brains also make them feel pleasure when they witness someone who's in agony. Sociopathy, on the other hand, is associated with upbringing, such as childhood trauma caused by physical or emotional abuse. Born into slavery, Anakin experienced both of these things from a very young age, and so the person he loved the most, his mother, endured them as well. Things got better once he was found by the Jedi, but they forbade him from seeing her ever again due to their strict views on feelings and attachment. He was also bullied by both his fellow Padawan, who were jealous of his abilities, and by his teachers, who pushed him harder than everybody else and scolded him at the slightest mistake just because he was the chosen one. One of such altercations occurred during a training session where Anakin displayed incredible skill. Two younglings acknowledged his skills with a lightsaber, but questioned his ability to become a good Jedi, one of them calling him a slave to his emotions. Upon hearing this, Anakin took both the lightsabers using the Force, ignited them, and said, "Tell me, what emotion are you feeling right now?" Luckily, it all came to an end thanks to Obi-Wan's prompt intervention, and Anakin apologized to the petrified children. Sociopathy is also associated with exposure to a particular belief system, in this case, the Sith Code. Peace is a lie. There's only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. In summary, psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made. Number 2, lack of empathy versus a lack of sympathy. As we already mentioned, psychopaths are physiologically incapable of showing empathy, the ability to understand somebody else's emotions. Sociopaths, on the other hand, are capable of feeling empathy, but they lack sympathy. In other words, they understand your emotions, they just don't care. Number 3, moral compass, absent versus twisted. Psychopaths do not have a moral anchor that tells them what is right or wrong, which is why they don't feel guilt or remorse for the suffering they inflict upon others. Sociopaths do have a moral compass, but, as the title suggests, it has been twisted by their environment. As we know, every villain is a hero of their own story, and sociopaths will truly believe they're doing the right thing. It's just that their right is a little different to that of society as a whole. In Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader by James Luceno, we get a glimpse of Darth Vader's memories of his raid of the Jedi Temple. Quote, "In his mind's eye, Vader saw his and the 501st march to the temple gates, their wrathful attack, the mad moments of bloodlust, the dark side unleashed in all its crimson fury. Some moments he remembered more clearly than others, pitting his blade against that of Swordmaster Sindralik, beheading some of the very masters who had instructed him in the ways of the Force, and, of course, his cold extermination of the younglings and, with them, the future of the Jedi Order. He had wondered beforehand, could he do it? Still new to the dark side, would he be able to call upon his powers to guide his hand and lightsaber? In answer, the dark side had whispered, "They're only orphans. They're without family or friends. There is nothing that can be done with them. They're better off dead." Not only did Vader truly believe he was saving the younglings from a lifetime of suffering, but also that he was saving the galaxy from all-out civil war, which would inevitably take place if any Jedi survived. In his mind's eye, he was the hero. In terms of remorse, sociopaths do not feel guilty when they hurt somebody they have no attachment to, but they are capable of feeling guilt when they harm somebody with whom they share a deep emotional connection. Which leads us to our next point. Number 4, emotional attachment versus emotional control. Given that sociopaths are capable of feeling empathy and guilt, they are capable of forming emotional attachments with family, friends, and like-minded people. Psychopaths, on the other hand, are incapable of forming these connections because they lack empathy. Instead, they tend to establish artificial and shallow relationships with people in order to maintain emotional and physical control over them. Finally, number 5, calculating versus impulsive. Psychopaths have an innate capability to blend in with society. When engaging in criminal activity, they are more likely to use precautionary measures to avoid capture and detection. Moreover, they employ aggression in calculated moves, which will take down any barriers to their goals without drawing any attention back to them. Sociopaths, on the other hand, are less capable of playing the role of average citizen. They tend to commit spontaneous acts of criminal behavior with little emotional or physical control and without thinking of the consequences their actions may carry.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
You underestimate my power!
Don't try it!
Based on this analysis, I personally conclude that Darth Sidious is a psychopath, whereas Darth Vader is a sociopath. If you disagree with me, feel free to start an argument on the comment section, and if you like this video, go ahead and check out the comic book version, featuring Thanos versus the Joker, as well as the Game of Thrones version, pitting Cersei Lannister against Ramsay Bolton. Also, don't forget to subscribe to watch future videos like where does morality come from? Is it from our intentions or the consequences of our actions? Featuring beloved Ned Stark. Did Obi-Wan Kenobi really fail? And what is a hero? Comparing different characters from the Marvel Pantheon, as well as what makes a good villain? Featuring Superman.
That's enough.
It's soon, but think you'll ever love again? Maybe you won't kill your next family.
Lastly, follow Dystopia on Instagram if you're into daily memes, which you totally are. And if you want your opinion to feature on these videos, access weekly polls, weekly discussion topics, and the scripts of each video, go ahead and make a pledge on Dystopia's Patreon page. Slight change of tone here. If this doesn't sound like your thing, but you still like the video, I would really appreciate it if you help me out with a more personal matter. To do that, please check out the comments down below, and thank you in advance on behalf of me and my family. That's it for today, guys. Cheers for tuning in. Don't forget to like and share this with your mates. Welcome to Dystopia. I hope you enjoy your stay.